And here we are on XM Radio.
Satellite.
We got Frank Darabont.
Yeah, man,
Darabont.
I'm not sure how you say it, but
Darabont.
I know he did a couple of Stephen King. I don't a lot of times like some of the Stephen King movie adaptations, but the ones he did I like a Shawshank I thought was great. And he also did The Green Mile. Which was really good. He seems to do the ones that stick closely to the story.
And that are kind of high budget, nice, good movies.
Yeah.
You know, some of Stephen King's movies. Maximum Overdrive, for instance.
Originally called Trucks.
Yes.
Yeah, the story.
A short story. But that one, not quite so good.
All right, is he here?
No.
So, Frank, what?
He's on his way up.
So, Frank, congratulations. The movie The Mist opens in theaters this Wednesday. Another Stephen King...
Wait till he gets in.
What?
You gotta wait till he gets in.
And maybe he could help us get Stephen King.
Better
Sure
way
he
to...
knows him.
No, I'm practicing.
It's a better way to do an interview.
Frank, did you notice when you worked with Stephen King that he's very up on pop culture and has very eclectic music tastes? Go.
Go.
Don't say eclectic, though.
And don't say go.
Say different.
Different music tastes?
Oh, he did the... all right, I like that one,
Frank,
too.
I didn't know, as I read your bio here, that you got a writing credit on A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. How was that? Go.
I like that one, actually, Dream Warriors.
Frank, you also got a writing credit on The Blob and The Fly 2.
Blob?
Go. Really?
Boy,
I didn't know that.
I see.
I didn't know that. That's unbelievable. Who would have known that? Wow. Very good. Shawshank Redemption. Your favorite film you ever made? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Wow, why was that?
Oh, that's so weird. Really?
And I'm going to ask him about one that he wants to do, which
What?
I've wanted to see made into a movie for a long time.
What?
The
What?
Long Walk.
Oh.
Stephen King short as... Oh, let's just wait till he gets here. We're acting like we're really putting the cart before the horse.
I
We're going to be
know.
pulled backward into disillusionment.
He best not have to fill out a bunch of paperwork.
No, he won't. He's a director. He's going to come in and relax and sit down.
Well, Poe's got some creepy haircut. Frank! Hello!
Yeah.
Hiya!
All right.
I'm going to bring him in. Oh, cool.
Can we interview you through the glass?
That'd just be silly.
The Mist in theaters this Wednesday. Congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought we could
There
do
he
it through
goes.
the glass.
Where you want me?
Oh, right there is
right.
perfect.
Thanks. Are we live? Are we being silly live?
Yeah, we're just
really? Oh.
we're live.
And you can curse
How
and
you doing?
stuff.
Hey, guys.
This is cursing radio. Opie,
Yeah, you could.
Anthony, Jim Norton. Hi.
Hey, fellas. Do you always wake up this early, like every day?
Been on
This
since
is
6.
God. We're halfway through our day.
This is late.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wake up at 4:30.
Oh, that's like shooting a movie. That's like a movie shoot schedule.
Would you like to put me in a movie? We can make a deal right
He's a
now.
good actor.
I'll swap you. You go do my job. I'll come here.
Yeah.
I've actually done a little acting myself. Of
course.
You may have seen it. Like, for a dramatic moment, like if I have to look, I do this.
It's good.
You guys can't
Very
see it on
good.
the radio.
Very good.
But he just saw A Star Is Born. I put my hands on the desk and I looked to the right, and he's like, wow, this guy's really looking.
Mr. Faversham.
So you do it. The Mist is a story I read years ago. It's Stephen King. And I like it because my last name is Norton, and there's a character named Norton in the story, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's a good reason
And
to like a
Warden
movie.
Shawshank, by the way, was Warden Norton.
Oh, was he? I don't even remember that.
Steve's got it in for somebody named Norton for some reason.
Oh, that warden was just oof.
Yeah.
Is he a son of a bitch?
Yeah.
Was he? I don't remember.
Oh, come on.
I just remember the rape scene of Andy Dufresne. How could you not love that? That was a good one. They couldn't get enough of Andy. Tim Robbins is handsome. I kind of understand it. But so one thing before we get to The Mist, one thing I thought was pretty cool was that you wanted to do the walk, the long walk.
The Long Walk, yeah.
Are you gonna finally let you do it?
Well, somebody will eventually, because I'll make it cheaply enough that somebody will say yes to it. That was sort of how The Mist went, too. Basically, it was just like finding somebody who would allow me the latitude to maintain the creative vision of it, and just do it on a budget.
Well, the story's about it. There's like a mist. Like there's people in a supermarket, I think, and again, it's been years since I read it.
Yeah.
And they see this weird fog rolling in, And it becomes this all-encompassing thing where I guess they're afraid to leave because they start to see like weird things flying in it and getting like suckers on the window. It's a really creepy story. And they lose radio communication with everybody. Am I doing it justice? I mean, obviously I'm not painting a great
they're
picture.
stuck in the supermarket. Anyone who leaves gets,
Right.
Gets potentially
a high-paying job.
Yeah.
In corporate America. What? No?
Gets laid? No.
What annoyed me was I saw the trailer for it in the theater, and again, I really believe they are putting too much information in these trailers.
I always think so, but
I
then
don't
I'm the filmmaker.
on TV, it was cool. I saw The Mist. All right, this looks great. I have no idea what's going on. I just know there's mist. There's something out there that's bad. That's all I really want to know at that point. I go into the movie theater, they're playing the trailer, and now they're showing some of the stuff that's in the mist. They show a couple of characters biting it. I don't want to know that much.
No, I've always felt that way about all of my films. That's the filmmaker though. So I can't judge it objectively. But I've always felt trailers give away too much. I feel trailers for
but it's gotten
other
worse.
Movies.
But it's gotten worse.
Also do that.
It's gotten worse in the last I don't know how many years. But when we were growing up, it wasn't that bad with the trailers.
Nah.
They would leave something to the imagination. But you're right. Now it's like every key plot turn is now in the trailer.
You realize halfway through, you're like, oh my God, they're giving away like really important things that I would have loved to have been surprised by during the movie, not during the trailer.
Yeah, it's the eternal struggle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to get them not to give away the surprises. But we do have some very cool surprises that you may think you've seen the movie in the trailer, but you haven't.
Well, that's something I've noticed, too. Then I go see the movie and go, okay, that's cool. At least they didn't give that away in the trailer. But, another thing I wanted to ask you about Stephen King movies in particular. You've been involved with successful Stephen King movies. Shawshank is fantastic. Green Mile.
Thanks. Yes. I've been very lucky.
He's put out, or people have put out, movies based on his works. There's a hell of a lot of them out there. Why do you think most of them aren't really movies that are that good?
Well, the really good ones, whether they're Stand By Me, whether they're The Dead Zone, Dolores Claiborne, the really
Misery
good.
Was good.
Misery was awesome. Rob Reiner's 2 for 2 because Stand By Me, he did that and Misery. I think the ones that are really good are the ones that focus on the characters, that really focus on the extraordinary layer of character work that Stephen King works into everything that he writes.
Yeah,
the ones that weren't very successful think that his stories are just all about the surface trappings of horror and the scary and the genre, and that's what they think it's about. So that's what they focus their efforts on. And what they leave out is the most important ingredient of King's. He's a fantastic master storyteller, and he leads, his strong right hook are his characters. That's what he leads with.
Do you think, too, the one thing with Stephen King, it seems like when he gets too involved in a production, it's not as good. And, I love Stephen King. But I think that as an artist who writes, he is so married to what his vision is that he doesn't understand. Like, he didn't like The Shining that Kubrick did. And I've seen part of the one that he was involved in. And it was like, even though Kubrick changed maybe what he wanted and concentrated too much on Jack Torrance and not The House, I mean, it was a masterfully done horror film. I mean, it was a horrifying movie. There's no way they could have made that more frightening than Kubrick did with Nicholson and Scatman Crothers, and he hated The Shining.
I kind of did, too.
Did you really?
Yeah, I really did. I've learned through the years to accept it on its own terms. I've actually really learned to like it a lot on its own terms. And when I say on its own terms, I mean as a Stanley Kubrick movie. I think it's pretty terrific. And the test of that is how many times I've sat and watched it, and the answer is a lot. But I have to say, when I first saw the movie, I remember very distinctly seeing it when it first came out and walking out so disappointed.
Really?
Because Kubrick, genius though he was, revere him though I do, and I did. I grew up watching this guy's films and really being inspired. Totally missed the emotional component of the novel, which was one of the best novels in the genre in the 20th century. And it was a tragedy about a family falling apart. Again, it's that character element, it's that character level, and it was a tremendously emotional journey that King put down on the page. And Kubrick missed it completely and wound up making a Stanley Kubrick movie. So I say The Shining is a great success as a Stanley Kubrick horror film. It's a complete and utter failure as an adaptation of a great Stephen King novel. I've simply had to develop the split personality. To accept it on its own terms and to have both in my life.
But had it been accurate, wouldn't it have been? And this is only because sometimes when you're doing certain character work in a novel, like when you write this emotional journey that he goes on, it would have been kind of hard to make that into a scary film in 90 minutes or 2 hours or whatever you guys get. It's almost like, because I'm not that frightened easily. I mean, The Exorcist, certain great ones are terrifying. But I mean, to be as horrifying as he was, it was almost like, had he concentrated on the emotional stuff, would he have been able to be as frightening as he was? Like, I mean, just Delbert Grady, the creepy element to Delbert Grady. That to me was one that was actually, the film was scarier than the book, which is really rare for Stephen King. I mean, it's very rare that happens.
And the look,
he's terrifying.
because it was Kubrick, the look of that movie just gave you the creeps from his. Oh yeah, the way he shoots is amazing to just bring out creepiness in a hallway. Or in that bathroom,
Well, how about
the darkness of it?
How about just the drive up the mountain in the bright daylight?
Yeah, in the beginning,
Even
that was eerie too.
Right?
Yeah.
As a director, let me ask you, because the thing Kubrick is known for, or at least my favorite thing about his work visually, is the long shots in Clockwork Orange and all that stuff. Those long hallway shots. He has this amazing. Was that him or his director of photography?
Oh, that's Kubrick. That's Kubrick.
That's his move.
Yeah, that's Kubrick. I don't think he had a DP, telling him what he thought he should do.
That's a good point.
Stanley was a very, very well. He's legendary for his control on the set, and legendary for being very meticulous.
Oh, I heard it would take hours to set shots up and focus, and he would take days just to set up these shots
and do 80, 90 takes.
Some
things, and just the actors would go insane.
Wouldn't he not tell them what they did wrong? Wouldn't he just go do it again? Like, a lot of this, he wouldn't tell you what he wanted until you just found it.
The legendary story is Scatman Crothers on The Shining of when they're walking in. I think he was crossing the lobby, like carrying some bags or something, to like take 80. The poor man just started to weep and say, "Just Mr. Kubrick, just tell me what you want."
Oh man,
Stanley paused and said, "Let's go again."
An axe in the chest is what he wanted. Take this, you silly goose. Stupid scat man. He has the gift of The Shining, and he still doesn't know how to poke his head around a thing. Go, is anybody home? The elevators are bleeding, you idiot. Get out of there. Bring Larry Durker with you. Larry Durker. Boy, he really fell off after Rocky, didn't he? Guy plays Apollo Creed's trainer, and then he's like on the phone for 30 seconds in a Denver snowstorm. He's finished. All right. Sorry. So The Mist. Who is in this? Because there's no actor list in this.
Good heavens! It's an Academy Award-winning actress, Marcia Gay Harden. It is Thomas Jane, who is an amazing actor. A young actor. They all look young to me now. He's not that young. Laurie Holden, who is brilliant, who was in Silent Hill and My Leading Lady in Majestic, and was on X-Files, and is currently doing the final season of The Shield. She's doing a major role in that, which is great. Andre Braugher, who is a force in nature, and I've been a fan of his since he was in Glory, his very first film.
Who was he in Glory? Because I like that.
He was the young, educated man with the glasses. Who was
Black dude?
Family? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wasn't he crying or something at one point?
Yeah.
He was crying because the Irish guy threw him to the ground. He tried to teach him how to fight, and he humiliated him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly. He was really good.
Very first movie, he's holding his own with Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman. The man is an amazing actor. Plus, he did 6 years on Homicide, I guess. And
did you feel Matthew Broderick was a little miscast, maybe in that? I always kind of thought, and I like Broderick. I think he's great. But in that one, I thought something didn't fit.
Just almost.
Just missed a little bit. Maybe his hat didn't fit. I don't know what it
is. But it's a movie I love. Let's see: Andre Braugher, Laurie Holden, Thomas Jane, Marcia Gay Harden. Some fabulous character actors I worked with in the past. Bill Sadler, Jeff DeMunn.
Who are those guys?
Let's see. Bill Sadler, played Death in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Remember Death and Bill and Ted's? No, you don't. Okay. He also played Haywood in Shawshank.
Who was Haywood? 'Cause I remember Shawshank.
One of Red's group of guys. One of Morgan Freeman's group of guys.
You know who I love, by the way, as a warden? Not to interrupt you, but who I love, because we're talking about the warden in Shawshank. How good was the guy that played the warden in Escape from Alcatraz? Was there anybody a bigger dick as a warden?
That guy was a
bastard. To practice with his creepy clipped speech and his bugged-out eye. He just loved being a warden. That guy was fantastic. I got to watch Shawshank again to remember that, because it's so big with Morgan Freeman.
That warden is just awful. I love him.
And the guy who plays...
Patrick McGowan, by the way.
McGowan, right.
Escape from Alcatraz.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Great movie. I love it.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Didn't Clint Eastwood have a great ass when he's walking in the opening scene? They show Clint Eastwood's cheeks. I loved English, too. Black guy English. I'd have cut my throat instead. I do impressions of people that nobody remembers. Paul Benjamin, he was that in Across 110th Street. I want to be in one of your movies. That's where all this is basically going.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's auditioning right now. How the hell does a direct... Like, you know how actors get started and stuff, but directing seems like it'd be very hard to direct your first film because now you're stepping up and really telling people what they need to do.
Yeah.
It must take a lot of confidence, obviously.
Yeah.
But how do you get up there and have that kind of confidence on your first gig to be telling people what they should be doing?
Confidence develops over a period of time. It's important to be. Yeah, it's important to fake it well. The best directors, I think, probably do every day. Or they learn to trust it.
What was your first?
My very first professional directing gig. The first theatrical feature was with Shawshank, but I had done a little cable movie prior to that.
Wait, you started?
That was your first movie?
That was my first theatrical.
Wow. Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
That's either that's either amazing because that's an amazing movie, or it's bad because good luck following that one. That's a tough one. That's like a tough one to start with.
That'll always be a good one. Following that one up, I won't even try. Because it happens by accident anyway. You get something like that, and it's purely an accident of a quirk of fate, really.
How happy were you when you started to see the cast that was signing on to it, when you realized you got Tim Robbins and you got Morgan Freeman? That must have been amazing when you signed. Where did they have the cast before they had the director?
No. Good heavens, no. You don't cast a movie before you have a director, unless you.
Well, I knew. That made me sound really stupid. Yeah. I knew that, but I figured the audience wouldn't.
No, I was delighted when that cast came together. I worked with Deborah Aquila, who's a very dear friend of mine, as a casting director, and. They basically you wind up having lots of conversations about, okay, who would be best for this role or that role, and okay, let's go out to their agent and let's try to, we put the faces on the board, we pin them all up and see what the blend is on the cast, and that one came together extremely well. I think all my films have, actually. I've been really lucky with the casts I've been able to work with.
Well, I have a question for Frank, because I think you can help clear something up. Our own friend, a comedian, Patrice O'Neill, big black comedian, great comic, has been telling people for years that he almost got the part of John Coffey in The Green Mile. Now, the guy you got, was he a bodyguard? He's a massive dude.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan, who's not actually as
not that tall
as you think.
No?
Yeah.
I saw him once. I couldn't believe it was the same guy, because in the movie, he looks like he's 6'9", 6'10".
I made him 7'3" in the movie.
7'3", okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's maybe 6'1".
Oh, really?
He's a little taller than that. He's maybe 6'4", but he's the only.
Is he really?
He's the only guy who's 6'4" that ever walks into the room and people go, I didn't know you were so small.
Right, okay, that's what it is.
Because we really made him look gigantic in the film, yeah.
Did you do it with special shooting, or was it just something obvious, big block shoes? Just giant with big Herman Munster shoes.
I actually had big Munster shoes crafted for him, and of course it was one of those just idiotic things because you try everything when you're making a movie. It's just one of those idiotic things when they brought it onto the set, and it looked like this weird Elton John, Pinball Wizard and Tommy kind of disco shoe thing, and he couldn't even balance on the darn things, So okay, well, we dismissed that. So it was a lot of little boxes and walkways and some lens tricks, some perspective, lens tricks. You can do a lot with a wide angle lens and some shifted perspective.
But you've never heard of Patrice O'Neill?
Oh man, I may.
I'm making sure.
Good.
No.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Oh, wait a minute. That guy's face is familiar to me.
No. No, I don't want it to be familiar.
I honestly don't remember anything except I remember the process of casting Michael. I remember the process of casting Doug Hutchison. You know, so much water goes under the mental bridge, and years later people will say, "Oh yeah, don't you remember we were doing this, that, and the other?" And it's like, you're describing something in my life I don't recall at all.
Yeah,
and it's I think it's the amount of mental work that goes into writing and directing for 20 years. I swear I got nothing left. If I'm on the set, if I'm on a deadline, I got nothing left for you. So there's very little, very few brain cells unaccounted for, that aren't being impressed into service in some fashion. So,
yeah.
You may well have. I saw the guy's face looks familiar. There were a number of people I remember who were very credible and viable choices for that role. All I remember really is that Michael was, the home run.
Of course, and Patrice was not even close. And that's the point. Timothy Hutton had a better shot at getting that role than stupid Patrice. Hey, I was going to ask another. Oh, do you know Stephen King?
Yeah. Heavens, yes.
Is he does he kind of like overly mother, like when you're on the set? Is he like, what about this? And you're like, all right, look.
No, gosh, not at all. I always, here's been the process. I'll write the script I'm adapting his story of. First Shawshank, then Green Mile, now Mist. Send him the script. Hey, Steve, what do you think? The answer comes back. Love it. Good luck with the shoot. Invite me to the premiere. And then if there's something I specifically want to pick his brain on, I will be then forced to ask his opinion on this, that, or the other. Mm-hmm. And when asked, he will, of course, offer that opinion. Most of the time, his attitude is, hey, look, it's my story. It's your movie. You do right by me. I trust you. And that's pretty much, how it goes. And that's wonderful. It's wonderful to have his trust. He thinks I do right by his work. And
you should, yeah.
And I love him. He is one of the dearest and most genuine and generous men with the goofiest damn sense of humor. He's fantastic. The only time he visited the set was on the set of The Green Mile. He was in L.A., and I forced him to come to the set. It was his birthday, so it was September that year, and we had a big cake. We wheeled out a big, Green Mile cake, and he visited that day. That was really cool.
Did you see It? You should have remade It. You should have done It, because I didn't care for the TV adoption. I didn't want to see John Boy in It. And I didn't see Tim Curry. I don't want to see you fucking Frankenfurter.
I'm not a big fan of the TV adaptations of things. Like, obviously certain things can't be really done for the big screen. Like The Stand would have been a little rough, sitting through hours and hours.
It would have been the first 8-hour movie in history. Yeah. And the first one to cost $1 billion.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why after I read that book and they started talking about a movie, it's like, how the hell would you even attempt to make this into a movie?
Yeah.
And, I think it was okay what they did on TV, but that book was just one of those that there's no way you can capture that.
TV adaptation. I tend to be somewhat ambivalent about TV adaptations because there is a limit to what you can do, budgetarily, which isn't always necessarily a bad thing because The Mist is a very limited budget, but there's a limit to what you can do budgetarily, and there's a limit to what you can do in terms of content. Mm-hmm. It's very frustrating that people can't speak like real people.
Right.
In moments of stress. What's your standards and practices for this show, by the way?
Anything
let her rip.
You want.
Really?
Yeah, most things. Yes.
Let her rip.
Fuck, I love that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. Yeah, because and yes, that's how people talk.
Yeah,
when they release
you can't do that, and you can't do that on television.
Which amazes me when they release transcripts of any stressful situation, black box recordings of airliners that are having trouble, soldiers communicating, fighter pilots. Things like that.
Directors on a set.
Directors on a set, yeah. Ooh.
I heart Huckabees.
Yeah, exactly. That was a winner. Wow. But that's how people talk.
Yeah, that's
and
how
it's
people
frustrating
talk.
when there's so many rules and regulations that you can't even portray how people talk.
That's right. And then there is we must sell the dog food and the douche powder aspect of
yes.
Another commercial and another interruption in what could be a dramatic flow if the film were being given a chance, but that's ultimately not the point for commercial television. The point is to sell you the dog food and the douche.
Yep.
And the things that have not had to adhere to those conditions on television some of them have been absolutely sublime. If you look at Band of Brothers, the miniseries that Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg did for HBO. Amazing. And as good a dramatic presentation as anything ever put on film. I mean, it's magnificent. Earth to the Moon, another one.
Yeah.
Same boys did. You see some things that are being done Showtime or HBO where you're just not suffering from that the disadvantage.
And how do the networks compete?
You can do. Speaking of HBO, I'm seeing Anthony Anderson on a screen here.
Very good actor.
Oh, he's an awesome actor.
Apparently very naughty, though, around the trailer with young ladies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was a pro on the set. I worked with him. I directed an episode of The Shield the season that he was there. Brilliant actor. Wow.
Frank,
he's just terrific. Sorry.
Your people have their coats on, and they're they're looking at the glass.
We have our coats on.
Panicking.
No.
Look at that.
What are you
Look
doing?
at that. She's giving a chop,
Wait,
wrap it up.
Is she mad at us?
Come in. Are you mad? Come here.
No, she's not mad. It's that I think you have a schedule to.
Oh no!
adhere
really?
to.
What's the matter?
You have a
So
schedule.
I'm sorry.
Are you angry at us?
No, I'm not angry.
What happened?
He has to be on camera for live TV satellite in about 4 minutes. So
Oh.
he's gotta go.
Really?
right.
Oh, hell, where?
37th Street.
Oh
Wow.
Oh,
Good luck.
You're not going to be.
fellas, I'm so sorry. I thought I was
wanted
going to hang out here for like
Talk a little more. And just loosening up.
Frank before he goes real quick.
Well, Frank, The Mist. It's in theaters this Wednesday.
Yep.
It sounds like it's going to be a great film. I read a few reviews on it over the weekend, and people are digging the film so far. Who've seen it.
I'm really glad about that. Yeah, people do seem to be digging it. So,
Look at Jimmy.
Jimmy getting his picture.
Loves his celebrity pictures.
All right, Frank.
Welcome to the film.
thank you very much.
Frank, absolutely. Thank you for stopping in, and good luck,
Go
man.
see the movie, fellas.
Absolutely.
absolutely
Good
will.
luck that opening weekend, baby.
Good luck getting
Yeah.
the long walk done, too.
That
That's
looks
a great
great.
Stephen King story.
Take care.
All right,
Sorry you had to run out so fast. Wow.
okay.
Thank God for people, huh?
Thanks. That's all right.
It's okay.
The thing is, The Long Walk is a story about... Stephen King is such a fucking genius. It's about a bunch of teenagers, young teenage guys, that go on a long walk. If you win the long walk, you get whatever you want for the rest of your life. But there's only one winner. Everybody else is killed. And once you start walking, you cannot stop. You cannot. You walk until everybody is dead except for one. And it's,
So as soon as you stop, how do you die?
they shoot you. It's run by the military.
They shoot
It's run
you.
by the military. What happens is you have to walk a certain speed for and you're allowed 3 brief stops an hour of a couple of seconds. 3, 2, 1, and if you don't get up and walk, they pump bullets into you. You have to shit and piss and eat and do everything while you're walking. You cannot stop
Stephen King's
walking.
the prick.
He's amazing.
What's his character's so much shit.
People line up though like it's a marathon, and I think Garrity is the lead character, and there's another guy named Stebbins who I loved fucking Stebbins because he didn't say much, and their whole thing is to walk, and it's amazing. It's just a brilliant fucking story.
Wow.
The bond some of these guys make, and you know that they're going to die.
What the fuck happened to Stephen King as a child?
I don't know. You know what I love about him also? He's not afraid to kill children.
Not afraid of
That
it.
guy-
If a kid shows up, his head will be somewhere else in the next scene.
I love
Pennywise the clown in It did nothing but kill children. That's what he did. That's all he
That's
did.
great.
And he was a fucking... In the opening scene of It, the fucking one brother is showing the other brother how to make like a little what was it, like a little boat to float down, a little paper boat to float.
Paper boat.
And the boat goes into the storm drain. So Georgie is 6, and he leans in, and he sees a clown in the sewer. And the clown says,
Georgie.
"Hello, Georgie." And it smells like a circus. And then Georgie reaches in to take a balloon from the clown, and he gets his 6-year-old arm ripped off. The clown ripped off the boy's arm, and then fucking ate him. He fucking... And he said his sanity was removed in one clawing swipe. Stephen King is so fucking good, man.
And he's a pop culture junkie.
He's a fucking genius.
We've been trying to get him on the show for, God, I don't
He's
know.
tough.
We kind of gave up, I guess, at this point. We would love to have him on.
Got a great sense of humor, man.
I would love to
saw
just
him,
talk to him.
do readings, And in between, when he's reading his lines, he's really funny.
Yeah. I think he would like this show, too.
Guy. I know, I think so, too.
I think he would like
I'd
this
like
show.
To think.
Yeah. Yes, he probably finds it repulsive and likes
NPR.
He does.
Mike in Michigan, what's up?
Mike?
Oh, sorry,
hey.
Here I am.
Yeah, what's up, Mike?
I was curious to know if Jimmy or Anthony had read any of the Gunslinger series.
Yes, I had read the first 3.
What's Gunslinger, Jimmy?
The Gunslinger was about this guy named, I believe, Roland, and it was a long...
Roland.
And it was the Dark Tower series.
Yes, Dark Tower, that's it.
It was a long series of stories, kind of a mythically set... and it was I saw the Gunslinger, the Dark Tower, and the Drawing of the Three. I think of the first 3. Am I correct?
No.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. Dan's about to correct me. Go ahead, Dan.
It's the Gunslinger, the Drawing of the Three, and then the Wastelands, I believe.
The Wastelands. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did read the first 3. I should reread them. I don't remember. Now they're up to like part 7.
He finished it. Yeah.
He did finish
all
it.
7.
Because he took so long to put out part 4. I just stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There were huge gaps.
It's awesome. It is awesome. You've got to finish them, Jimmy.
No, I'll go back and read. I'll start over. I haven't read a good book in a long time. I start books, and then I stop. I'm such a faggot. Not for that reason, for other reasons. But I mean, I start...
His books are so goddamn long. It's really a commitment to start one. So
there's a moment in it where the clown is such a psychopath. The girl sees the clown and he's on the fucking front lawn and he's holding balloons in one hand and a severed child's leg in the other hand, and he says, "I've come to rob all the women, rape all the men, and learn to do the peppermint twist." And he does a shuck and jive with the balloons and the child's leg. It's the fucking greatest moment ever captured on paper.
Is King still writing?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he is. He's done articles and stuff, but...
No, I mean, like books?
Oh, yeah. He just put one out.
There were rumors that he was going to retire from writing, but nah.
Like that guy wants to talk about Cell. That just came out last year, I think. It's really good.
Was Cell good? There was that one. There was Rose Madder.
CJ, what's up?
Bunch of shit.
CJ?
Yeah.
Oh, how's it going, boys?
Hey.
Have you guys ever read that zombie thriller?
Hold on,
Cell?
time out. Who's working the pad data?
Why?
No one.
Butcher.
What did Butcher? If he spelled Stephen with a V, I'm gonna bite his face.
Of course he did.
Did he? It's P-H-E-N, you fucking
That's
zilch.
coming in like crazy. That's not us. That's Butcher.
Butcher.
What do you got, CJ?
All right, Jimmy, you want to read a good book? Cell by Stephen King. It's a zombie thriller about cell phones.
No, I saw that in the book. In the store. I have not read a book in so long. I mean, my sex addiction's ruining my life for real, man. It really is.
Is it?
It's fucking ruining everything.
Dolores.
All right, Dolores.
I'm sorry, you go ahead, talk.
Sorry, man. You're right. All right, well, thank you. I'll try that one. He wrote a book called Tom Brady, didn't he? To the girl who loved Tom Brady. No, not Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Tom Gordon. I'm sorry, not Tom Gordon. The girl who loved Tom Brady. That was Ben. The girl who loved... Oh, he's perfect. It was the girl who loved Tom Gordon, about that a girl who loved the pitcher from the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Let's go to Jeremy. Jeremy, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Jimmy, your memory's amazing.
Oh, thank you. For certain things. My mother's birthday, I forget. However, I do remember that fucking Pennywise did the shuck and jive with a leg and some balloons. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
Shuck and jive.
Hey, I could not flush a toilet without looking at it for 10 years because of that guy.
Oh, because of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was first one I read. It was written in '87. It was the first book I read, the first Stephen King novel I read. I was working in Caldor, and it was in the receiving department. And I'd heard about this fucking guy. I knew who he was. Obviously, he was a legend even in '87. And I sat down and read it, and I could not stop. From the minute Stephen King is so good, he goes from the past to the present, because I think in it's supposed to be 27 years later. Mm-hmm. Like they're going, he's going from the childhoods of these kids, there's 7 kids, to the present. And then back to the childhood, and he does it in italics, so you know what era he's talking about. His fucking character development, as Frank was just saying, was amazing. How I can't. I'm trying to write a fucking sitcom pilot, and every character sounds like me. Awful, yuck, yuck. How fucking even the girl? Tinkle on me, yuck, AIDS. How about a little variety? God damn, is he good, man? He really knows how to develop.
Is that your favorite
character.
Stephen King book?
It really is. But Misery was amazing. The book was a little more violent than the movie.
Wow. Yeah.
And the fact is that when she didn't fucking hobble him in the book, she chopped his leg off with a hatchet. She chopped his foot off with a hatchet in the book, and then she fucking blowtorched it to stop the bleeding. So she fucking, and then she cut his finger off and put it in a birthday cake, I believe. So, I mean, the book was extraordinarily violent, and they changed that for the film a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it.
The hobbling scene is great, though.
Awful!
The foot just folds over on top of that block.
But, dude,
she is just psycho.
She chopped his foot off with a hatchet and blowtorched it to stop the bleeding. Hobbling is bad. That's really bad.
Amazing. We got to get Stephen King in here.
Dude, he's fucking... All I would do is... You know what? I would freeze up completely if he was here, too. Did Stanley Kubrick direct Shawshank It?
He walked around Columbus Avenue. I was eating, and he walked by once, and he had a shirt. He looked like he didn't shower. He was all greased up, and he had a shirt that just said, "The end of the earth is near." That's what his shirt said.
Guy is so fucking...
Yeah, he's just walking around. People are freaking out.
He's brilliant, but he has an odd sort.
Oh, he's a creep. He's a fucking creep. But you know what really annoys me is the way these fucking faggoty, annoying literary people don't give him the credit he's due just because so many people like him.
Because he's made millions and millions of dollars selling his books.
Do you know what was a good story, too? There's a story called, oh my God, it's about insomnia. It might be called Insomnia, about the guy who, maybe one of the fans could correct me. I don't know if I remember this. It's a story about an older man who's not able to sleep. And as the sleep deprivation goes on, he's getting like an hour a night, he begins to see people's auras. Over everybody, he can see like a life stem coming off of their head, and he could tell if it's like a really dark black that they're very sick and going to die. So he could see their auras. And Stephen King describes these three little creatures that go to all people when they die. And you're either, you have a destiny, or your death is random. Like random people will just die getting hit by a bus. Destiny, it was intended when you're supposed to die. It was so fucking good.
Wow.
And I can't remember the name of it. I think it's
Insomnia.
Go ahead. Thanks. Oh, it is. Okay, thanks.
Insomnia. All right.
Goddamn good book.
Let's go to Justin in Detroit. Justin, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, boys?
Hey, man.
Jimmy, I agree with you, man. Stephen King's one of the best books ever, but please tell me that you wouldn't vote for best scene of the world as that boy in Pet Sematary just ripping the throat out of Grandpa Munster's fat face.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I don't remember.
Little Gage.
Oh my
God.
Little
Gage.
And in the book, and you know what? Another great point by Frank, how brilliant he is at character moments. He said the mother wanted to scream, or the father wanted to scream if one more person said at least it was quick. That was driving him crazy that everyone was saying, well, at least he didn't suffer. He really has this fucking way of...
tractor trailer just barreling over a kid.
Right.
That's great.
Tommy, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, Jimmy, have you ever read the Bachman books before King took out Rage, which is the story that inspired Columbine?
Oh, wow. Did he take out Rage? Sure, I have read Rage. There was four of them. It was fucking Rage, The Running Man, The Long Walk, and I don't remember what the fourth one was.
Roadwork.
Oh, yeah, Roadworks. Did he take Rage out?
He took out Rage because of the Columbine killings, and he said he was tired of it inspiring people getting killed.
Oh, wow, okay.
Have a good one, boys.
Take care. I read all of them, but I thought The Long Walk was my favorite one.
I got to read that now.
Dude.
You made me want to pick it up today.
It's fucking genius. They walk or they get shot.
And how many people start to walk?
I don't know, but how many?
100.
100. And
would you take that?
No, I wouldn't. No, I don't care what gifts I'm going to get. I'm going to get tired and get blisters. You shit and piss.
It's one guy wins.
That's what
it
I'm
ain't
saying.
going to be you.
It's a really good question, though. Like, if it was as many people that start a marathon, no fucking way. But when would you maybe go, you know what?
Fucking Kenyan would be going, bully, bully, bully.
Would you do it if What if you...
Yes.
Would you do it if it was 10 people that had equal physical abilities as yourself?
No,
10
it's
people.
still 10
people,
odds.
yes. If there was 11 walkers, and one of them was that fucking Zoe bitch that runs a marathon every year. If 10 of us won, and we figured Zoe would keel over, yes, I would do it. The Long Walk is so good. And The Running Man, let me tell you, not far off from the way reality television is going. It's almost like Patty Chayefsky when he did fucking Network.
Yeah.
Really a brilliant fucking mind, man.
Let's go to...
I hate when people knock Stephen King.
Crotch Critter.
Hey, boys, Jimmy, I want to agree with you, man. The Long Walk was the greatest book. That's the very first book I ever jacked to. The way he describes when he ran over to that one girl and was dry humping her, I swear to this day, 20 years later, I still can't read it without getting a hard on.
I don't remember. Hey, as long as you didn't jack to the part where Garrity shit on the road and people were running out and grabbing it like it was a celebrity artifact. Or Stebbins in his comfortable shoes and his peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Just don't jack to Stebbins. Stebbins could not be beaten. It's one of my favorite lines ever. Just wonderful.
God, the phones are lit.
Stephen King's the fucking biggest author, and he deserves to be.
Huge.
There's been a couple things he wrote that I didn't like as much as the other, but I've never read anything by Stephen King with this sucked ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And when you say like I didn't like this one as much, well, you're comparing it to Salem's Lot, which was fucking horrifying. Much different in the movie. Remember the movie? The fucking, the vampire's all, like, stupid, and he's got the assistant. In the book, the vampire's very smart and very cunning, and the vampire leaves a letter. He writes a letter to some people about how he wanted to castrate a boy and bring him into his kingdom. It's so... Have you read The Pet Sematary? No, I mean, the fucking...
No, I wound up seeing the goddamn thing with fucking David Soul, I think, was in it.
Better. Starsky and Douche. Better to fucking see the movie first. Always see the movie first, because then you read and you learn more about characters you already like. I'm telling you, the fucking Salem's Lot is some scary fucking shit.
Yeah.
Scary. I know that's not really doing a good endorsement.
I don't like to be scared, Jimmy.
What?
I don't like to be scared.
I tried to be scared. I watched that. Oh, another short. Here's a... God damn it, that fucking Frank left too early. Here's a Stephen King one.
You leave so early, Frank.
Frank. What? Frank was better. Frank had TV. Manny's right. You are an asshole. Frank has to be on television. Hey, you got a job, man. Tony, I'll give you $10 million, and I'll give you the preview to The Mist. Tony, don't kill me, Tony. That's who he looked like, goddammit, Robert Loggia.
He did.
He should have been standing in front of a fucking palm tree office door.
Tree wallpaper.
Catching a bullet. Fucking,
Short story.
Huh?
Short story.
Oh, 1408, the movie. I could not with John Cusack. The fucking movie really bugged me. But I bet you the book was scary. The movie was shitty, and that made me want to read the book, because I know that they cheese-dicked it up, and the book is probably very scary.
How many movies have they made from Stephen King?
Oh, my God.
I don't even know.
3 or 4?
Perhaps more than that, Jim.
They did Carrie. They did The Shining, Salem's Lot, Maximum Overdrive, The Running Man.
Cat's Eye was like 5 short stories.
Did they do a bunch of them?
Yeah.
Cat's Eye. Now, hold on.
Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man.
Even though that had nothing to do with the book.
Yeah.
You're not going to get them all.
I know. I'm on 7.
You're not going to get them all.
I'm on 7.
There's 5 pages at least of 20 apiece. So,
Jesus Christ.
Maybe 15, yeah.
That guy's probably made, what?
Safe to say
$100,000 off of his books.
Perhaps more than that, Ann. He, a lot of his short stories get made into movies. Sure. He wrote a really cool one where he describes what happened. Like, a bunch of people are on a plane, and all of a sudden, there's like 7 people looking around on the plane, and they're alone on the plane. They're alone.
Langoliers.
Langoliers. You guys read that?
No, saw the movie.
Oh, I fucked the movie. I didn't see the movie.
Bronson Pinchot.
Where they have those...
I was like, why do they cast these fucking people in this shit?
The only people that lived were the people that were asleep when the plane went through this weird zone.
Yeah.
And there's these... They look down and they see these giant, like, monster things eating the earth.
Yeah.
And they can hear them crunching, and they realize that's yesterday. That's how yesterday goes away, is these big fucking creepy creatures.
Yeah, they're there to eat the past.
They eat the past. So these guys have gone into the past by a day. And it's so fucking the Langoliers.
And they're constantly trying to run away from the things that eat the past.
Let's go to Chris in Jersey.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's just
put
brilliant.
On the line for a minute or two here. Chris, what's up?
When you asking how Stephen King can be so fucked up, or something had to happen to him as a kid. He actually saw his best friend up close and personal get slaughtered by a train.
Did he really?
I think that. Yeah.
I wonder if that's where the body came from. The inspiration for the body, which was Stand By Me.
By the train tracks.
That's all I got, guys. Peace.
Wow, I didn't know that.
All right.
I wonder if he's a lonely kid, too. Like, Andy Kaufman was a brilliant guy, a twisted dude, and obviously very isolated as a kid. Was Stephen King like that? I mean...
left with your imagination to entertain yourself because you didn't have real people around you.
He wrote a cool story, too, about somebody who was accused of thieving a story. Some, like, ghost comes back and accuses a guy of ripping off his story. He's just
How many King books have you read, Jimmy?
A lot, but there's a lot I haven't. I mean, there's a lot of short stories. But I've read for years. I've read everything he wrote up into a certain point, and then I just kind of stopped the more I did stand-up because I just became very busy, and it was hard to focus mentally.
Sex addicted and...
Dude, believe me, it's all encompassing the sexual addiction. I started well, whatever. Can you look, Than? It was a few years ago. It was about a girl, a woman. Her husband was an author.
Secret Window.
No, not Secret Window. Her husband died, and she was just going through. There's an L in it. Lily or...
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Hold on.
It's the one he was reading from when I went to see him, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy's just it was so interesting. He's so interesting, and he's right. He's a great nonfiction writer too. He's not some fucking scary hack. When he writes nonfiction, he's just as interesting.
Let's say hi to Rich in New York. Rich?
Funny that you segue into nonfiction. Jim, did you read On Writing and all of Stephen's famous discussions about sobriety and, getting sober and what it did for him and his work and all that other stuff?
No, but I have not, but I always assumed he was sober because of the references he would make and the things he would say. So I actually did assume he was sober, and I never had that confirmed until you just said it.
Well, he got sober, I think, right around the same time it came out. The first book he wrote sober was right after Tommyknockers. Tommyknockers was the last book he wrote all junked up. And
oh, wow.
If you read On Writing, he talks about how, his addictions came out in his monsters and stuff, and how it was very, very subconscious that, he knew he was a drunk from a very, very early age, and that, his monsters portrayed his addictions. It's very, very interesting. And on a quick personal note, in addition to Steve King, I owe you a great debt of gratitude because you are 2 of 3 pop culture figures that pointed the way for me. So thank you.
Oh, good for you, man. Congrats. How long?
It'll be 17 months at the end of this week.
Oh, that's great, man. Good for you.
So thank you very much, gentlemen.
Take care.
Take care.
All right, Rich, thanks.
Quitter.
Right.
Goody gumdrops. What do you do now? Hug your family?
Let's go to Texas.
What, Dan?
I think the story is it Lisi's story or Lacey's?
Yeah, that's it.
That was it. Lisi's story.
That bastard is good.
Let's go to David in Texas. David?
Hey, Opie, thanks for taking my call. Love the show. Love you guys. Jimmy, you were talking about Salem's Lot, man. That book scared the shit out of me. I had to sleep with the damn light on. But do you remember in the movie, James Mason was about the creepiest son of a bitch when he said, "Oh, you'll like Mr. Barlow, and he'll like you." I just want to see what you guys had to say about that. Love the show, guys.
I don't remember the scene, but I remember that in the book, remember the kids in Salem's Lot in the movie were kind of floating little vampires scratching at the window. They were scratching at the window. But there's a really cool one where there's a girl scratching at the kid's window, at the boy's window, and she's telling him, "Come on, let me in. I'll kiss you where your mother never did." It was actually a really sexy, seductive thing this female vampire was saying. She scratched at the window. I try to write, I write dumb little things. I'm trying to write another book, and just to get like a concept going is impossible. And it's like, how do you consistently scare the shit out of everybody? He scares the shit out of everyone.
With different scary shit.
Right.
Like, it would be, if you came up with one thing that was scary and scared the shit out of people, every book would be the same fucking scary thing. I don't want to try to rock the boat here. Let me just...
I'm so awful that
Go ahead, sorry.
My book would start with, "And the monster approached." That's how my book would start. The monster approached, and he had monster weapons. I would be just...
Just imagine how easy it comes to him. He's not struggling. I bet you it just flows like it's nothing.
He probably has to, like Woody Allen is that prolific with films. He probably has to actually go, I don't know, that's for the next one. He probably has so many ideas that he has to know, like, let me just put that aside for next one, or whatever his process is. I think he's a Mac guy, too. I'd love to sit down and talk Mac with him.
Who wouldn't?
All right, there you go. Stephen King, we got to get him on the show, obviously.
I would love to have him on. All we would do is talk to him.
Kissed his ass enough.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. If he actually said, if he called up and went Baba Booey and hung up, I would still talk about his films and his fucking books, his films.
Someone is saying 77 King books have been made into movies.
Wow.
Sounds about right.
That's
about right?
Fucking insane.
Amazing. Let's say hi to Kelsey. Kelsey, what's up?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey,
oh man, this is great that I'm talking because I was in the show for like 2 years, and then I never called the show.
Biography.
I'm over 16, and I started listening when I was 14, and you guys have made like a tremendous impact on my growing up.
Oh, cool.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully good.
No, I'm in prison.
Yeah, it made me like way funnier, and you guys are like idols of mine.
Oh, thanks, man.
Teenage idols. So be proud of it.
Thanks. And we're seeing an ad for The Mist right now on TV. I'm watching an ad for The Mist. And
wow, the look of it looks
fucking creepy.
Creepy. Look at that
It looks
right?
creepy.
Yeah, it starts Wednesday.
And they just showed a moment from the last scene. Oh, wow, we just saw Frank's name big.
Yeah.
We saw Frank's name real big.
Frank
He was just sitting there and then got dragged out.
Oh, Frank was better.
It's like the mist took him.
Yeah, I know.
He was in the interview and then he's gone.
The mist is a publicist with a fog coat.
And there's the Vagisil he was just talking about.
Jesus Christ, this is a creepy... We should actually make a Stephen King movie about it. Everyone thinks the Stephen King book should be written about them.
Yeah.
4 guys in a room and then Frank leaves. That'd be a good story.
That's scary.
It's very frightening. And then Fan comes in and does something. And maybe Danny comes in. And the mist is the alcohol vapors. I can't stop. We all have something. I'm a pervert. Danny's a drunk. No offense, Danny.
Kelsey,
I hope he's not mad at my alcoholism accusations.
Kelsey, go
I'll fuck him in the
ahead.
mouth.